Hey everyone, today I want to take you through one of my most ambitious projects so far. This is a wireless, solar powered water level monitoring system, but more than that, this is a story of trial, failure, learning, and finally success. And trust me, this journey is worth sharing. About a year ago, I built my first water level sensor. That video is still up, so you can go ahead and watch it. It used a waterproof ultrasonic sensor, Wi-Fi, and a small solar panel and batteries. On paper, it sounded perfect, but in reality, it failed miserably. Reasons: Wi-Fi was unreliable, the battery drained was very fast, and the solar panel couldn't just keep up. So I tried improving it. So this time I added an MPPT solar charger module. I experimented with the ESP now to reduce the Wi-Fi power usage. I even built my own Wi-Fi repeater using ESP3266, and yes, it worked for some time, but it was not reliable. It was not scalable and definitely not something that I could deploy in a real world. The biggest issue was Wi-Fi. Every time the device woke up, it had to start the Wi-Fi radio, search for network, connect, retry if it failed, and then finally send data. That entire process takes around 30 to 60 seconds, and all of that meant battery drain. So I decided to change the direction. I moved to LoRa. My first attempt was the SX1278 module, but honestly, it was complicated due to SPI interface. It needed an external antenna as well, and it interfered with the ESP32 Wi-Fi. Even if I'm moving 10 meters or so, the data used to stop, and that was frustrating. Then I discovered something interesting, the RYLR998 LoRa module from React Technology. And this changed everything. I was not working on this project, but when I got this LoRa module, when I got to know about this, I thought the best case for my use would be to go back and rebuild my water level sensor. So I did exactly that. So this RYLR998 LoRa module, it changed everything more because it's firmware based. It works using AT commands. It's low powered and it's designed for long range communication. And you can see the footprint is so small. I redesigned the entire enclosure from scratch using Fusion 360, learning from my previous mistakes. And this time the case is compact, professional, and completely waterproof. There are no exposed wire, no hot glue, no jugaad as we say in India. Now inside the enclosure, I have the ESP32C3 Super Mini, a waterproof ultrasonic sensor, the LoRa module, 18650 battery, which is around 1000 milliamp hour. So this time the entire setup is clean, it's simple, and it's highly reliable because of lesser part, lesser wiring, and also less code. So it's less strain on the device, on the MCU. Now the power design is also very simple. The battery goes into the TP4056 charger module. The solar panel connects directly to TP4056 input. You can use a diode in between. From the battery output, I use the 3.725 volt booster, which boosts to 5 volt. That powers the ESP32C3, the sensor, and the LoRa module. So no MPPT, no complicated circuits, and it works beautifully. Now if I talk about the results, the battery voltage stays above 3.9 volts. Even if there's cloud and there's no proper sunlight. For the last 1 week, it has been working really well. The solar panel actually produces more power than the system consumes. The device wakes up, takes a reading, transmits the data, and goes back to sleep. And all of this in just 3 seconds. Compare this to the Wi-Fi, which was taking 30 to 60 seconds. You can imagine how much power we are saving. We are power positive at this time. Now let's talk about the real world installation. Now the transmitter is installed on the top of my 5-story building. I've installed it on the cap of my water tank by drilling a hole, 32 mm hole, and we have used a 3D printed screw to hold it tight within the tank at the top. So with the cap, if you want to clean your tank or do whatever, you can just easily open it. There are no loose wires, so there is no risk of breaking any wire, which was the case in earlier designs. So this time I have designed this in such a way that the entire system is one single unit and it's completely sealed. there is no way the water is going to ingress. It's completely sealed, watertight, using silicon that I've used while packing the entire setup. So you can also use silicon to seal all the corners and everything like I did, not much needed. And you can also print 3D printed TPU gasket. That's up to you whether you want to use silicon or like 3D printed gasket. Now let's talk about the receiver which is installed on the ground. It's very cute, but let's talk about the performance. Between them there are concrete walls, there are slabs, rooftop, and all solid walls, solid concrete, and 5 floors, and yet every single packet is received. That's more because it's a long range module and it's highly reliable. There is no drop, no retries, and no missed data till date. And you can see the receiver is itself very tiny and it's quite cute. It's powered by USB Type-C. It has an OLED display, two WS2812 LEDs that look like eyes. There are clear symbols, two symbols that I've used, a water drop for the tank level and a battery icon for the power status. At a glance, anyone can understand what is happening. The receiver also sends data over MQTT, so you can connect it to Home Assistant or any other smart home platform. Then you can also set up automations like I have done. I have set up low water alerts, tank full alerts, leak detection, pump reminders, and also switching on and off the water pump because here where I live, the water comes at around 5 a.m. I cannot wake up at 5 a.m. during winters. So it does it all automatically. And there are Alexa announcements also when the water level reaches certain. It alerts at a time and then waits for like whatever time you define, like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and after that it will give you another. But during the night time, no alerts.
Good morning. Water tank level is 47%. Please start the water motor.
And now here's where it gets really powerful. This system is scalable, unlike the previous ones. You can install multiple transmitters. Think about a 30-40 story building, multiple towers. There are overhead tanks, underground tanks which need monitoring. So you can easily build these transmitters and then assign a channel to each one, and each one will send data to one single receiver. And from that receiver you can show or create a dashboard where you can show all of the tank levels at one single place and set up alerts and everything. Now if you use MQTT, you have Home Assistant or any other smart home software installed, you can get the data into that smart home system, Home Assistant for example, and then set different kinds of alerts. You can get real-time alerts on your phone, on your device. You can get alerts via Telegram. You can do a lot more. You can get announcement from Alexa. I mean, the possibilities are endless. What you can do with this value and with this data. Another best part about this system is that it's completely private. There's no cloud, nothing at all. Even if you want to use it without Wi-Fi, I mean you don't want to connect the receiver to Wi-Fi, you can do that. You can just connect to the AP mode and you can browse the web. You can see the data, see the water level and everything. There are visual indicators, there's display also. You can make it bigger. You can even connect this LoRa module on a Raspberry Pi and connect it to a display, bigger display, maybe a TV display, to get real-time tank monitoring and everything. Even if the tank is installed, like if you are living in remote areas or in mountainous areas where it's difficult to provide power and everything, so this can be easily installed. It's tiny, it's like portable, it's completely sealed. You just install transmitter, you go back to your receiver and you start receiving data. So even if there's no internet, there's no power, this can be powered by a power bank, and for a very long time. I mean, even the receiver will work for like days on a power bank because it's like 500 milliamperes per hour. That's the consumption it is. It has, so you can imagine how much it is going to run for from a 10,000 milliamp hour power bank. Now let's talk about the cost. Now, one of the organization or companies building these ultrasonic based water level sensors and those are Wi-Fi based, so there's cloud in between. I don't think you can integrate it in any of the home assistant, and the cost is 11,000 rupees. Even after discount it's 10,000. Now the system that we have built, it has costed me 3,000 rupees, excluding all of my efforts and designing and everything. So that is excluded. The parts cost is 3,000 rupees, and with that you can build a completely wireless long range monitoring system. Now using this LoRa module RYLR998, you can also build various other systems. For example, energy monitoring system, you can use it for security purpose. If in open area, it can transfer data for kilometers, like 3, 4, 5 kilometers easily. So let's summarize this. This system has long range, it's fully wireless, it's low powered, it's powered by solar, so endless power. It's very cost effective. You can build it within 3,000 rupee budget, or like I think it's like close to $30. So I'll be sharing the firmware and the 3D design file with the channel members. The firmware will be available for everyone. You can just go ahead, get a ESP32 C3 Super Mini module, MCU, and then flash this firmware, and you're good to go. There's a transmitter firmware, there's a receiver firmware, and it's very simple to flash it. You just have to connect your board and then flash the firmware just like that. There's a detailed guide on how to flash it right here. For the STL files, you can join this channel as a member, pay a nominal fee and be a member of this channel to get access to the 3D printable files, the STL files, which you can print on your 3D printer or get them printed from any 3D printing service. So you can build it, customize it, and you will also get support from me in case if you need any help. So this is my GitHub profile and the project repository where you can go and explore all the details about it. Like I have detailed it step by step. You can download the firmware from here, from the release, or you can also download it from the firmware folder. So all the details are there. I've covered everything here in detail, step by step, including home assistant setup. So yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments if you want full step-by-step build tutorial of this, and please subscribe for more real-world IoT projects like this. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next.